What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here joined by
Gersh1.
We're back at it to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Sinkar Prime did. He asks, can a Chaos, Space Marine, or Cultist change their allegiance? For example, Nurgle to Khorne. Answer, no.
Right. Because basically, once you go to one Chaos God, you basically sold your soul to that God.
Forever.
And ever.
Yeah, especially if you've gotten a gift. Like if you got Nurgle Pax, is that what it's called?
Yeah, like the Poxes.
Yeah.
All that stuff. There's different names for different things.
Yeah, you can't just all of a sudden be like, you know what, never mind. I like the fact that I don't feel pain anymore, but now I want to learn about magic and wizardry. And then you can't go to Zinch.
Right. The only thing I think would be possible if, say, you're Chaos Undivided, you're just like a renegade, then you could probably, sell your soul to one of the gods, but, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're smart, you would do what, what's the original demon prince, what's his name?
Be'lakor.
He could just be all four gods forever.
Yeah. But he, tricked them, though, to have each one empower him. But, yeah, he's a pretty badass dude.
Yep. Next question.
His model's kind of small, but, he looks really cool. But anyway, next question.
He's doing the thing, right?
The thing.
All right, next question.
This one's by Irv Mueller. This is a 3-parter, and this is his 10th attempt.
Oof.
So here we go. Part 1. If you caught Lucius, the Eternal, and didn't kill him, but instead locked him away for good, with lots and lots of Astartes pattern survival rations, a jukebox full of James Blunt songs, and a solid hook in the ceiling with a rope, would that end the problem?
Yeah, I mean, well, it wouldn't end the problem. You're just locking it away. At some point, he's gonna escape.
Is he though? By himself, probably not. Well, I mean, the thing is, since he's being powered by chaos, he can just get a new mutation or something.
Well, and he's eternal, so
he may not get out this millennia, but
exactly, you are not eternal, so
right.
You could have locked him in there, but at some point he's gonna get out.
Right. Say you forgot about him. Or maybe Chaos, was doing a whole bunch of campaigns to get him out or something.
It's true.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to keep somebody locked up for that long. Even the Custodies, the best of the best, they've had super jails and stuff, and even those have had people escape and stuff.
Yeah, they broke out, and that's the reason that the Astartes are out there now, or the
Custodies.
Yeah,
so that's part 1. Here's part 2. If you did a combined kill where, say, 100 dudes pressed a button to blow up Lucius, and all of them took immense pride in doing so, would you get 100 Luciuses? Or would Slaanesh just be like, nah, F you, I'm done with this?
I think the person who holds the most pride would be the one that turns to...
What if they all have the same pride?
They wouldn't. Somebody always... Because, somebody had to have organized that, which is you. So you would have ended up becoming...
So let's say you organize it, but you yourself don't push the button.
You have pride in it.
But you didn't necessarily kill him.
But it was you who organized it, so I think you would end up being Lucius. Is it Lucius or Lucius?
Lucius the Eternal.
Okay, Lucius.
Yeah. And then part 3. What if Lucius was killed by a blank? Could he still come back?
Yeah, because... you feel pride and then you just turn into whatever it is. There's nothing... it's just metamorphosis, right?
Metamorphosize.
You're more metamorphosed like the Beastmen.
Yeah. Kinda. But so that's saying that his ability to come back is
biological.
Is biological and not warp.
Right. Because it has to be. Right? It's not like some spell that is casted upon you.
Once you kill him and you're like, yes, I won... Then
your body starts to bubble.
Yeah,
and you become that.
And it's a slow process. It's not instant either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because eventually you become a face on his armor.
This reminds me of the that one Goosebumps episode with the mask, where the girl wears the mask, and then after a while the mask just kind of stays on, and it just becomes, and she becomes them. No, she dies.
Does she?
I think she becomes another mask. And then that mask has to fight the original mask. I don't know. It reminds me of that, though. Next question comes from Will Has Got to Go Fast. Okay. Have any assassins from the Ordo Assassinorum turned to Chaos? Great channel, guys. Keep up the great work. Or keep it up. I'm adding stuff.
I don't think I've heard of any assassins becoming...
You have to understand that the thing about an assassin is like they are heavily brainwashed to the point where they're built for one purpose and one purpose only. They don't really have free will. So for them to go to Chaos, it's very rare. And if it has happened, it's not something that I've read about.
Yeah, I don't think I've come across that. Like, these guys are dedicated to their craft. Like, I think there's an instance where like a Vindicare assassin was hanging like upside down for weeks, just so he could have like a split-second instant to like shoot a bullet through like a 4 miles distance to hit his target.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's bad.
Bada Bear. Does a psychic ability create a god? As in, is a god a creation of its subjects? So for example, does this mean that the god emperor leeches his power from the belief in him? Kind of like how orcs believe red makes things go faster.
Well, no, the whole red... We're not even going to talk about the whole orc thing because then that just confuses it. That's something completely different. It's a different way that they use the warp. A psychic ability does not manifest a god. So it's not like psychers, by using their psychic abilities, they're manifesting a certain god. A sentient being's presence, as long as he's not a blank, is manifesting in the warp. And whatever emotion that person gives out, that coalesces in the warp.
Right. Because chaos gods, they gain power from emotion and from belief. The more sentient beings you have feeding into that one thing, the stronger the god is. And that god can then use that power to create either his domain, lesser demons, or greater demons. The more power he uses towards that, the weaker he becomes. So yes, it would make sense that Khorne, who gets power from hatred, war, blood, skulls, would be gaining this huge domain, and he could make such really powerful demons and stuff. While, for example, say in the whole 40k universe, a god of happiness, you're not going to have that because there's so much war. But happiness is out there, so you might have a god of happiness, but there's not enough to go around that he can't really become a huge player in the warp, so to speak.
Exactly.
Last little bit of information that it is possible for a chaos god to use his whole power to make a demon, but then if that demon dies, essentially the chaos god ceases to exist, but he's existing through that demon. So, yeah. So it is possible to kind of kill off a god, kind of, in that way.
Next question comes from SG Boldwing. How many spores does an orc produce on average, and how many of them reach to a complete orc? Well, it all depends. The amount of spores produced varies on how long the orc lives. Usually it's not that long, so maybe a couple thousand spores. They release a huge burst when they die, but throughout their lives they do release like a little bit at a time. So yes, this is like they orgasm at the end when they die. And the other point is that not all orc spores turn into an orc. Sometimes they turn into a squig, Gretchen, or snotling. Snotling. You're always going to have more squigs and more snotlings than Gretchen, and you're always going to have more Gretchen than you're going to have orcs. So...
And that's just crazy, because if you think about it, there's a ton of orcs.
So there's a shit ton of squigs.
And Gretchen. And Grots.
Next question.
Brandon Chu. Would Loyalist chapters ever use or have a use for Traitor Gene Seed? Can it be salvaged, or does it have to be destroyed?
It has to be destroyed. No questions asked. It is tainted, and if you mess with it, it's like messing. It's like eating something that fell in the trash. You wouldn't do that in real life. You wouldn't do that with a gene seed.
Hey, you never know.
No.
Dumpster diving is a thing.
It's true.
Oh, this is an interesting one. By Martin Cauliflower. Can robots, AI, and Skitarii be corrupted and turned to chaos?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened to the Men of Iron. They, Trojan viruses get in.
Malware.
Next question comes from Michael Howell. Is it possible for a Traitor Marine that hasn't sold his soul to Chaos redeem themselves by joining the Death Watch? So here's the thing about the Death Watch, because we had a conversation off camera about this. With the Death Watch, like the reason that a Space Marine is sent to the Death Watch is because there was a contract made for this sector of space to be guarded by every Space Marine chapter, or the Space Marine chapters that participated.
Right.
So when a Space Marine chapter sends a participant, they're not sending that participant because he's like a bad person, because he's a representation of the chapter. So if you have a chapter like the Blood Angels, they send in a Space Marine, they really got to make sure that that Space Marine is not going to become susceptible to, or is not going to fall to the Red Thirst, is not going to fall to the Black Rage, because then that shit's going to come back on them.
Yeah.
So in that way, I think that is why that is one of the reasons why the Death Watch is full of like really badass heroes, is because the chapter wants to send the best of the best to that. It's not just a throwaway thing. And
that's also, you're fighting Xenos. This is an elite force that specifically fights Xenos. So you could kind of think of it as like the spear tip of an assault. If you know a Tyranid invasion is coming, the Death Watch are going there first. If you know there's pirates or like Dark Eldar Marauders, they're gonna go in there and fight. So they not only have to be really powerful, really well-known Space Marines, but they gotta be used to fighting Xenos, like not just fighting greenskins, but like all Xenos in general.
Exactly. And with that, that ends the show.
Yeah. So keep sending us your questions. Put questions in front of your question. We get to those questions first. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and comment down below, and we'll get to your questions.
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
We're out of here.